In this video, I'm going to take you through my full tutor analysis, part 4 of the ACCA SBL examination for the pre-seen information of the September 2025 sitting for the company Menu Craft. If you'd like access to my exclusive SBL notes you can see above me that have helped out students around the world to pass their examination, just click the link in the description of this video and you can have a copy yourself to follow along with. I'm also delighted to say I'm associated and affiliated with Astranti. They offer pre-seen analysis packs, mock examinations that are based on the pre-seen information we're going to be going through, all designed to help you pass your exam. And if you click the links again in the description of this video, you can check those out. And for pure transparency, as always on the channel, if you were to purchase anything, I'd be entitled to a small percentage which goes to supporting the channel. So as always, a massive thank you. I hope you're enjoying the videos. Leave me any comments that you have or questions about the pre-seen materials or my notes. More than happy to help you out on there because it could be the difference in getting you that 50 plus, getting you over the line and to passing your SBL examination. So this is where we can now get stuck into the notes that you can see on the screen. And where we're going to start now and move on to is the meal kit box production on the left hand side. So this is where we're told that Menu Craft, as you can see, operates one large production factory located in central Ireland where all meal kit production takes place. At this facility there are 4 separate production lines which operate 16 hours per day, 7 days a week. So good location, operates in Ireland, employing Ireland people on there, fantastic. But there could be an issue, or it sounds like there is one, in terms of capacity. And with 4 separate production lines, there's definitely a risk there that there could be operationally things that could go wrong. At the start of a production line, the production information system produces a label, as you can see on here, through a unique barcode. The robot then reads the barcode, selects the correct size box. A second robot then places the empty box using the different ingredients that are added. At each stage, the barcode is scanned by a human operative who then, as you can see, selects the correct recipe, places it in the meal kit box, and then at the final stage of production, as a final quality check on there, this is also carried out by a human operative to ensure that all the correct ingredients have been properly packed. And lastly, the inner chill box lid is closed and the outer box is then sealed by a human operative as well. So my questions and things that I look at when I see that kind of aspect, and they've talked about the time taken from start to finish of the meal kit production to dispatch to the customer is normally no longer than 3 hours. So I'm already thinking, why have they got some human intervention there? Why can't they just use robotics all the way through? There's risk of human error, there's risk of robot error on there, so there's a pestle technology point to be raised. Is it the most efficient production system? Which member of the board of directors is accountable for that? And what about the boxes if they are started when the factory is just about to close at the end of the day? Because if it takes 3 hours and you start the process going through this and it's only 1 hour till it closes, well, what about the food? What about the things that go into the box? So there is a sort of time and overlap and risk of goods getting damaged or affected on there. So potential weaknesses from a SWOT analysis point of view. Then when it comes on to the distribution point at the bottom, that delivery of the completed meal kit boxes to customers is carried out by a third-party logistics supplier, so outsourcing it there to GoFlow, another key name to get written down. And again, another positive, based in Ireland. GoFlow's vehicles are all equipped with the best and latest refrigeration technology. MC works in close partnership with GoFlow to ensure optimization of the route planning to minimize CO2 emissions, the distribution process, and on scheduling to actually maximize the freshness of the meal kit contents. So again, from a SWOT analysis point of view, only positive there as strengths. They've outsourced it to a clearly high quality vehicle provider in GoFlow. Local business, that's another good tick, and linking it back to Pestle, another good environmental point there in the distribution. Coming up to now on the right hand side, we're now going to look at the extracts from Menu Craft's latest risk report. And the model you definitely have to be aware of in case risks are highlighted in your examination in a requirement is the TARA model. So this is all about having a structured approach to managing risk, classifying them into 4 areas as to should we transfer the risk, should we avoid the risk, should we reduce the risk, or finally accept the risk. And the 4 key areas are about the risk of competition, legal and regulatory risks on their customer attraction and retention, and lastly data and information. So what is the sort of overview for competition? So the worrying area if customers' trust is actually lost. It's a highly competitive environment. Customers have many choices on there, which includes direct and indirect competitors, both online and offline. From a legal and regulatory point of view, definitely could be referred to in a pestle legal point here. We've got the Alien Food Standards Agency that every 6 months they put in a rigorous external checks, and there is a risk that the license to operate depends on this certification that could be lost. So what if a customer suffered some food poisoning or sued the business, for example, from a hygiene, food, health, safety and data protection point of view? And the costs, and what if Menucraft actually lost their license? Those are sort of worst case scenarios that you need to be aware of in case it came up on the exam day, always mentioned in the unseen information. Next, in terms of attraction and retention, so growth relies on attracting new customers. There is scope for this actually in Ayland, as we've seen above. And then in terms of alternative food choices, there are increasing challenges about competition. But in terms of, from a SWOT analysis point of view, this is definitely a threat that customers could go elsewhere. Customer retention, again, is a wide challenge on there, so they can lose interest, and they can be enticed by other competitors, maybe with promotional offers and incentives. So look at page 13 about active customers increasing. So it is going positively, and we're already told that Menucraft have the best retention of customers compared to all their competitors. Last but by no means least, we have the data and information. So this is all about personal data, the subscription of the customers and suppliers. Data is vulnerable to security incidences and breaches, and obtaining unauthorized access or sabotaging systems can be a major risk because the data and packages are changing so frequently, and they're unable to anticipate or prevent such attacks. So again, you've got Pesto on there from a technology point of view, and if they are actually breached, the probability of fines and lawsuits would definitely be increased. So if I was in your shoes, prepare for any one or maybe more of those risks and to link it into a theory on there. Speaking of theories, I've included some more, as you can see on page 10, that I would definitely get down in your notes that could be possibly tested and applied. The first one being the Boston Consulting Matrix. So that's a tool that helps companies to analyze their product portfolios, and this is where we look at it on a basis of market growth versus market share. We could get more information on this on the exam day, and what we're trying to work out is, do we have a product or a service here that is a star, a question mark, a cash cow, or a dog on there? So leading to different outcomes, and I've got it to basically say it could be tested and definitely one you should be aware of. We have the POP-IT model as well. So this is a framework that helps businesses to analyze and improve their processes and structures. We've just gone through a meal kit production and process. So it involves everything from people, the organization, processes, information and technology. Even me just reading that out to you now, you're there going, good grief, James. I think all of those have been mentioned so far. So definitely one that could be tested. Mendelow's matrix model could also be applied here as to looking at key players and keeping them satisfied. Who are the key players? Minimal effort and keeping them informed. So this is where, in terms of stakeholder groups, working out how much power they have and the level of interest. Again, another model I would definitely be wanting to make sure I'm on top of. And lastly, we also have the 7 Ps about price-based strategies on there, so helping an organization to sustain its competitive advantage. We've seen aspects about the products. We don't really know in terms of pricing, but it needs to be competitive. But I think there could be other aspects that you could apply the 7 Ps as well. Definitely don't overlook those. Now we're coming on to the website extracts on the left-hand side. The mission, vision and values, a critical part of the pre-seed materials in my eyes. The mission is pretty simple, as you can see on there, to make healthy home cooked simple, affordable, accessible to everyone, whatever their level of cooking skills. Something will go wrong on the exam day. This is what I thought when I went through it. So if it's to do with any of those areas that impact on the customers, quote back to that mission. If it's something that it isn't simple, if it isn't affordable, if it isn't accessible, refer back to that is now breaking the mission of the business. Then we come on to the vision, and this is all about promoting healthy and sustainable food that customers and the communities can serve to live a healthier life and healthier world on there. So any point highlighting the quality of the food produce, refer back to those key terms. These are two stakeholder groups. Again, it could link into Mendelow's, which we've just talked about. And the environmental/sustainability link here about a healthier world, healthier life, key to note down because they love to test it on an exam day because it's very topical. So anything to do with those areas about quality of food and in the environment on there and different stakeholder groups, refer back to and quote the vision. Now, the more interesting one is the values. Just go through them one by one because the key word on here is they are committed. So if they break any of these values, which something will go wrong on the exam day, say that this is breaking the commitment to the business of Menucraft's values. You've got on there promoting healthy and convenient food choices. So that's the stakeholder group of the customers. We've got the food producers in growing and making high quality ingredients for the recipes. So the environment, the farmers on there. And you can see on my notes, I think one of these areas will come up on the exam day. So refer back to it as to breaking the commitment to the values. Making a positive environmental decisions throughout our value chain. So another little hint there about Porter's value chain theory and the environment being referred to. Again, this can overlap with SWOT analysis and PESTEL. Promoting sustainability for long-term benefit of all of our stakeholders through our ESG, planet, people and governance. So linking into on there again sort of Mendelow and stakeholder theory. Next, we're told about demonstrating responsible leadership in all aspects of the business. Ethics questions come to mind, the board of directors being held accountable, and ensuring every member actually of Menucraft upholds the highest ethical standards based on honesty, respect, and accountability. And you think to yourself, every member of Menucraft, is that the employees? Are we going to get more information on them? Is it the people who work in the factories? Is it just the board of directors on there? Again, linking to agency theory possibly, but definitely ethics as well. I touched on Porter's value chain and those sort of hints, so I've definitely had to include that on page 11. So what you're looking at here is Porter's value chain is a strategic management tool that helps businesses to identify and improve their competitive advantage. As you would imagine from us going through the full pre-seed information top to bottom, breaking that business down into their different activities, the product or service, looking at efficiencies and the competitive strategy. It has a lot going for it in terms of the value chain to be tested. I've also put on here some possible scenarios to come up on the exam day. Again, I was just thinking as I was reading it through, I don't have a crystal ball, but I wanted to get it down in the notes as to strategic positioning versus competitors. I've also got governance and leadership, linking in the board of directors with some form of ethics. Risk and regulation, we've seen so much in terms of the food safety and data security. Lots of legal factors there, maybe from a PESTEL point of view. Customer retention and marketing strategies. So that could be bringing in other areas of the SBL syllabus that are not as financially based. It could be looking at different strategies about the business operationally and strategically. And last, they absolutely love these areas: sustainability, ESG in operations, carbon emissions, the environmental impact. The business of Menucraft are trying to do a lot of things positively about the environment, and therefore I think it definitely has legs and could be tested. So now let's come on to the key performance information now on the right hand side, and be careful to interpret this information correctly, and be aware if new diagrams are provided on the exam day. So this links into the key performance indicators, so don't get that mixed up on page 6. So page 6, key performance indicators, page, which are we on now? The last page is page number 12, and that is linking into the key performance information. So you can see on the diagrams, we'll take the ones on the bar charts on the left-hand side, they are all in a positive trajectory where we've got revenue per meal, total meals delivered. It's all looking positive and increasing. However, you see on the right-hand side from the trends and the line graphs, it's, well, the top two, top one and bottom one, the revenue's been going down and the meals delivered growth has been going down. But you need to look at these in isolation and actually take it for what it is, as to, if I said to you, your business and their revenue for the year is going to grow by 18%, you'd bite your hand off and go, 18% increase, that's fantastic. Well, that is what Menucraft has actually achieved, 18%. The thing that makes it look bad is that in previous years it's been 45, 32, 31, but the reason why it was 45% in 20XO is the previous year before that, the revenue was really, really, really low because the market really hadn't developed and customers weren't used to the actual business model itself of having meals delivered to you. You could also mention about the meal growth on there being stable and positive, but it's just making sure that if you are to apply these diagrams actually in the examination, and I think it actually has got potential to be tested because we've got 2 pages of it, make sure you interpret it correctly. So coming on to the last ones, you can see on the left hand side we've been given again some more bar charts on the left which are in a positive trajectory. So active customers are going up, average order value going up, annual order placed per customer is going up. So very positive on there. You can see my other notes on the side, but it's a case of the markets had been developing in the previous 10 years. But this is where just be careful with how you interpret it. So look at the annual order placed per customer at the bottom. So in 2004, it's up to 12. So when you have a look at page 4, when it says what frequency would you like to select for the meals to be delivered, that is actually basically saying that, say, 1 a month on there for it is usually what happens from an annual order placed per customer. So they're ordering 12 per year on there, per annual order place, so that is 1 a month on there. You can then look at the trends and the line diagrams on the right hand side. So active customer growth is going down, annual order place per customer growth is going down, the average order value, so these are the same percentages as you would imagine from the graph above in terms of revenue. So if we take the ones going down, look at the active customers growth was at 13%. Active customers growth at 13% is still a really positive outlook on there. 13% is pretty good. So again, it just comes down to and boils down to it's still positive what is going on. It's just not as high as it has been previously. But there is capacity in the actual marketplace to develop and look at the international markets because that is where the growth is going to have. And that, ladies and gentlemen, takes us down to the last point of the pre-C notes. So I hope you found today's video helpful as we're going through. Let me take you back up to the top. If you haven't already, make sure you've downloaded my notes. You can do that by clicking the link in the description of this video. You can also find down there those Astranti mock papers and pre-scene analysis packs. So click those links, check them out. They're definitely going to help you to pass. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video and the channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. And if this is the last time I see you or hear from me before your exam, I just want to wish you the best of luck and I hope my notes get you over the line to get you that 50+. So thank you very much.